Hello guys and welcome. This is your buddy Chukatron about to give you guys another unboxing and review. But right now I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review on something that I've never come across and I've never done on my channel. So I have been avoiding Marvel Legends figures like the plague. Why, you ask? Because there are just too many of them and they're like plastic crack. I don't want to get hooked on them. Unfortunately, I ended up walking through Target. I ended up seeing these figures and I freaked out because I had a nostalgic meltdown. I saw Rogue up there and I said, oh my gosh, she's one of my favorite X-Men, and I thought she looked so awesome. Looked at Gambit, he looked awesome. Looked at Storm, I said, oh man, this is too much for me. So I ended up having to wait till they actually officially came out because I had a Karen come up to me at the counter and block me from purchasing these before the due date. So I finally got them. I was stoked, I was excited, so now they're here. So I'm gonna be doing an unboxing and review on Rogue, and I might do the other two later, but here they are. And unfortunately, these are my first three Marvel Legends figures. Hopefully I don't get too into it and end up collecting the whole collection. So the thing I love about these figures is that they have the very nostalgic 90s display, and I remember getting the original figures from the line, the first like 7 or whatever it was. So before we go any further though, I'll ask that you hit the subscribe. If you're new to my channel, I want to say thank you for clicking on my link, and don't forget to hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date with my channel. And if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So without further ado, let's get rid of these two and we're gonna go dive into this Rogue figure. Let's check it out. Guys, so before I take the figure out, I just want to take a look at this packaging because this is one of the things that just totally took me back. So we noticed that the blister card here has the Uncanny X-Men on the top, and it's designed pretty much after the original figures. I don't have an original figure with the card to show you guys, but if you're from that time, you'll know. On the side there, we do have some new artwork of Rogue right there, and this really jolly face, very cool looking pose there, flying through the air. And on the side here, we do have power absorption, it in different languages right there. On the bottom, we have that really nice styling of the words right there with the Marvel's Rogue, which is so cool. When we look at the figure there, she's really nicely displayed, really awesome looking Rogue. I'm so stoked for this figure, guys. You notice that we do have some accessories right there, which seems to be 2 pairs of hands, one's with a glove and one just bare. So that looks really rad. Now the thing about this figure that I had trouble with was trying to find one without any paint smudges or any type of irregularities. This one had the least out of all of them, but I do see some paint smudging right here on some part of her pants and some bleeding right there of the green. So I'll flip over the packaging now. We'll take a look at the back. Before I do that though, I'll just note that this packaging, this blister card right here, is really thick. So it's really nice for people who want to keep the figure in the packaging and displayed, because the back portion here is just really stiff and it's actually thicker than a regular blister card. That's really nice. On the back there, when we take a look at it, we notice we have this black and white picture of Rogue on the left, and on the right there we have a picture of the figure in nice color. We do have a paragraph here which is kind of like a little bio. I'll read it to you guys. It says, Rogue can absorb superpowers, personality traits, strength, and even memories from others with a single touch, making her capabilities in any matchup nearly limitless. These talents have naturally led her to be a leader among the X-Men. So that's really cool that they added that, and it just gives you this nostalgic taste. When you look at the back there, you remember I remember when I was a kid and I got these figures. So without further ado, let's take her out of the packaging and check it out. So what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to take a razor blade and take it to the corners here and just take her out of the packaging, because I don't want to damage the blister card. So what I'll do is I'll get like a box cutter and I'm going to cut the plastic out there and take her out. So I ended up cutting around the bubble. So if you noticed it there, now I could just take this like that and just slide it right out. And I end up not really wrecking the packaging, so I do like the artwork of her flying there. So here's a look at her with the clamshell. There's a look at the front of it and the back. All right, now that I have her out of the packaging, oh my gosh, this figure is sick. Oh, I so hate Hasbro now for pulling these things out, man, because now it's opening a bad door that I don't want to open right now, and I don't want to go down that road. So anyways, here's a look at the figure and how awesome she is. These are my first expressions of the figures so far. I mean, wow, I love it, man. Wow. She looks cool. So let's take a closer look at her. Before we do that, let's just take a look at the side of her there. There's a side view of her. And on the back, wow, man, look at all the detail. It just looks awesome, man. I'm blown away right now. Like, this is my first Marvel Legends figure I had ever opened, and so impressed so far. So let's take a look at her from head to toe. We'll start off now at the head mold there and the hair. First of all, her head mold just looks awesome. The paint on her face, the blush on her cheeks, beautiful green eyes, everything. It just looks great, man. Her lips look awesome. Now, I did watch Shardamus Prime's review on her, and his was all messed up. The paint apps on his was all messed up on the face, but mine looks really good. And I love the you know, we have the white hair and all the detailing, and the design work right there on the hair just looks phenomenal. Notice that she does have that bandana right there in that waving form. And for it being a piece that's just like pushed into her head, it doesn't look bad at all. I think her face looks just phenomenal. When we look at the hair there, we notice all the details of her hair just being curly and puffy. And for me being younger, this is the kind of woman that I loved, and I ended up growing to love because of her hair. And I ended up loving my wife when I saw her. My wife had that hair, and I just instantly, I loved it. So that's one of my backstories there, but whatever. On the front there, we notice that we do have this bright yellow, very nice sculpt there on the chest area. You notice her jacket looks really nice in that brown color there, looking awesome. You notice that on the side there, we do have some yellow sticking out from the inside here, which I might just end up painting brown. Now, I'm not sure if you can pull these arms out, and I can probably just adjust that later, but whatever. On the side there, we notice she does have that nice X-Men patch, that red and blacks, looking great. Arms look great, her hands look great, really good. She does have these rings right here that kind of just do the sculpt of the upper part of the glove, but they hang really good there. On the other side, the same thing as well. And the whole midsection, beautiful. Look at the back, that looks really good, really nice. Her legs look really good. Now, one issue I did have with mine is that there's some paint right there that's actually noticeable. So it does look like they just kind of just smudged the paint right there and on the side of her leg. Now, I come ready because I got paint and all that, so I might just end up correcting that. But other than that, it doesn't look bad. This is one of the best ones that I saw on the display. So all the other ones had all this messed up parts, and for quality control, man, they did better than usual on this figure, because a lot of other figures were just like really busted. We notice her belt there, really classic belt with the little pouches, really nicely detailed there. Really looking good. The boots, phenomenal. There's two portions right here that are actually just kind of just jingling around, which is the top section of the boot, and this little ring right here, which adds the detail of that part of the boot. That's just like a ring there that just floats. That looks, I mean, it doesn't take away too much of the figure, just, you know, jingles a little bit. There's some either over painting or smearing of the green paint right there, which I can fix. Other than that, it looks great. Look at the back section there for legs. They look pretty good, spot on. Some paint issues right here. I'll probably just end up fixing that later. You got the two nalgas right there staring at you. Bloop, 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 bloop. Looking good. Other than that, I think this figure is amazing. Love it so far. Let's take a look at the articulation. So the first articulation point, let's take a look at her head. Now, her head can kind of rotate 360 degrees if her hair wasn't blocking her. It can tilt forward and back. Not really tilt back at all, because the hair that's molded, it kind of just, it's suffering from that, but it can go down forward. If you notice there like that, it can tilt down like that. But what I'll end up doing, I'll probably end up, if I could take off the head, I'm gonna end up putting this in hot water and being able to mold it and being able to make it a little bit more flexible. Hopefully I won't damage it. When we look at the arms, they can go out and in. They can rotate around 360 degrees, up and down 90 degrees. She does have a joint at the elbow that can rotate 360 degrees, and forward and back about 180 degrees. Hands can pivot up and down like so, can rotate 360 degrees. She does have that nice upper torso part right there that can tilt like that. It can rotate all the way around, and it gives you some really cool feats right there. I can't wait to get her posing. The legs can go out and in, forward and back 90 degrees. She does have the thigh swivel joint, which is rad. She does have that double jointed knee. You know, it's 1, 2, boom. and on her feet. They can tilt forward and back a little bit, I'd say over 90 degrees, and they can tilt side to side about 45 degrees. So with all that posability, let's get into some wicked poses and check her out. All right, let's take a look now at the accessories, which are her two hands. She does come with this hand right here, which seems to be pretty big because her fingers are really long, but this is the kind of pose that they have her in. So there's a look at that, really nicely detailed. To me, the fingers are just way too long. I mean, geez, man, those are some long fingers. But you can snap off the right hand and just pop it in. We'll take a look at it, but let's take a look at the next accessory, which is the other hand. Does come with it holding another glove right there. So I'm assuming that you could just change both hands and have her posing like she's taking off a glove, because that's where her powers are, is by touching people and absorbing their traits, their powers, and their abilities and all that. So really cool. Let's pop these on and take a look at it. Now, one thing you got to do is you got to be careful with these bands right here that are on the hands, because they're fly everywhere. We'll just take it off because we don't need it right now, but be careful that you don't lose those, because it kind of would ruin the figure's look. So we got one hand on. Let's take the other hand off, and we'll keep the ring on this because the figure comes with the glove. So boom, really good. I love the way that just snapped into place. Sometimes with some figures I have a hard time just removing the old hand. So now that I have the figure with the accessories on here, let's take a look at her with them. So we notice it there. Look how big the hand is. Gee whiz. Like they didn't get it right with this figure right now, because her hand is like bigger than her whole damn forearm and her elbow, which kind of sucks. From far away you don't really notice it that much, but up close, yeah, it looks really weird because her hand is bigger than this whole part of her arm. So on the other side, it looks great, perfect. Didn't mess up on it. The glove there being held by her hand looks really good. I think that looks good. The other hand, not so much. Kind of like NWO, New World Order look right there, but there's a look at it. So there's my unboxing and review on the retro styled reissue of the Rogue figure. Overall, I think this figure is pretty awesome, minus some paint smudges and some QC irregularities. Overall, it's a really awesome figure, so I do recommend it. Till next time, this is Chukatron signing out, saying peace, love, harmony, and God bless. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, chances are you'll enjoy another one. Hit the subscribe and notification bell for more Chukatron content.